This is a 1913 manufactured Colt Hammerless 25 caliber ACP gun. It's the 1908 model, but this particular one by the serial number was manufactured in 1913. It's nickel plated, and I've taken the magazine out. It is unloaded right now, and it is the model that will shoot with the magazine removed. And it came with one magazine as far as I know. My father bought this gun, and I don't know if he bought it new or used, and handed it to me. The bottom of the magazine has an inscription of Colt 25, but it's just about worn out or was never placed in very good. And this is an excellent shooting gun, completely functional, and this one is in particularly good shape. It's well over 100 years old right now. And I wanted to get another magazine for him, but I think Colt made the magazines out of unobtainium because one cannot actually find an original unless one buys one of these guns and just salvages the original. I don't know how many rounds have been shot through this gun. I've had it for 30 to 40 years, given to me by my dad. He also gave me a Colt Python, which is in excellent shape. And I don't think in those time that it's been manufactured that more than 4 boxes of ammunition have gone through it, but I can't say for sure. I did want to get another magazine though, and what I found is that an original magazine manufactured by Colt is almost impossible to find, or at least extremely expensive, but there are magazines that are manufactured by KKK, and they call it the number 15M Colt Pre-War 25 ACP 6-round magazine. So I did buy a couple of these, and basically this report is on those magazines, and I'm showing them to you here now to compare them. The original Colt magazine is nickel plated, as you can see, and the two magazines that are from KKK are blue steel magazines. All three fit into the gun very nicely, but the KKK are just slightly thicker than the nickel-plated one from Colt, but it really hasn't made any difference. And I will tell you now that these magazines function perfectly. And if you want to stop the video and go somewhere else, these magazines worked perfectly when taken to the firing range in this Colt gun. Now this particular Colt does not have the magazine lock back. In other words, when the magazine is out, the gun will still fire. I think the newer ones are different, and they won't fire with the magazine out, but this particular one will fire. And when KKK advertised it, it says Colt Pre-War 25 ACP 6 rounds. I'm imagining they're talking about pre-war for World War II. And I think that some of these guns were made after World War II. You can see the difference mainly is in the follower. The original Colt, which is on the left, follower looks definitely different than the follower on the KKK magazine. And even the two KKK magazines have a different front appearance to the follower and different on the magazine, in that, first of all, one of them looks like it's nickel plated and one of them is blued, and the opening on the front looks a little wider in one and deeper in one than in the other. But how do they function? Take them to the range, put 6 rounds in each, and they all function perfectly. I believe that the KKK are slightly longer than the original Colt, but again, functioning is perfect. Now, these are not quick change magazines. In other words, once you put a magazine in this pistol, you're not going to pop it out easily. You've got to move this little lever back, and it's under a fairly good spring tension, and you've got to pry the magazine out with this little bar on the bottom, because they don't fall out like you'd expect a modern gun. So one's not going to do quick change with this. But if anybody wants to know whether they should buy one of these magazines for their gun, hopefully it's the same as, will work the same as my gun. It works perfectly. Now, the later guns had a magazine lock that apparently would not fire if the magazine was removed. And I don't know if these magazines will work in that gun, but I haven't found anything on YouTube about the magazines. And in this particular model, they work perfectly. So I would say that if your magazine supply is low, which is virtually everybody who has one of these guns, and you're considering buying a triple K, if your gun is one that does not have a magazine lock to it, in other words, it will fire without the magazine, I think the triple K magazines will work for you. So they're not cheap. I think they run $35 to $40 each, but certainly worth a try compared to an original Colt magazine, which on Gunbroker I've seen running for well over $100 each. Thank you for listening. If you have any comments, please post them.